welcome to our yoga practice today. We're gonna do some poses that will target the shoulders and neck area, since those are places where a lot of people hold tension and probably, sitting at our computers for such a long time these days. Some of you might have some neck shoulder pain or just some discomfort. So we'll try to work that area a little bit today. So let's start out just with ourselves in a seated position. So you can have your legs crossed or out in front of you if that's more comfortable. If you'd like to close your eyes, you can just kind of let yourself come into the practice for a few breaths here before we start movement. So take a deep inhale in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. And exhale. Let it go. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Let it go. Beautiful. So let's start with a few neck rolls here. So we're going to take our chin, drop our chin down towards the chest. Let the right ear fall over to the right shoulder. And we'll roll the chin back through center and take the left ear to the left shoulder. And then come back down through center and right ear to right shoulder. And down through center, left ear to left shoulder. And let's do one more round. So we'll come back over to the right. And then one more time over to the left. And then let your chin just fall down towards your chest. Just let your head relax. We'll slowly lift the head back up. You can take your arms out in front of you. Let the right arm come under the left arm, so you're kind of meeting at the elbows. And then just give yourself a hug here. Place your hands up onto your shoulders. So this might be a good space for you where you're feeling a stretch. You might want to lift up on the elbows a little bit, and that'll give you a deeper stretch. And then some of you might have eagle in your practice, so you can start to kind of twist your arms together. So you could either hook fingers or have your palms together. So we're really kind of twisted up here, and I'll just bring my hands back to my shoulders for demonstration pose. We can lift up through the elbows. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and release. Just let your arms come down and just give yourself a few shoulder rolls here. Start to let that side go. And we'll come to the other side. So left elbow comes under right elbow. And you might notice a difference in the sides here. So you could bring your hands up to your shoulders. I'm actually doctoring a shoulder injury here, so I'm going to leave my hand kind of up a little bit. And then you can start to lift up through your elbows a little bit, if that feels good. And then lastly, feel free to take eagle arms, which I'm not even going to try on this side. But if you can kind of twist your arms together in eagle pose, feel free to take that pose. And you'll feel that that's stretching the upper back through the shoulders. And hopefully it feels good. So go ahead and release all of the pose, the arms, the shoulders, and just give yourselves a nice shoulder roll. And let it go. Good. We're going to come over to hands and knees. So I'm gonna hope that you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna take the mic down to the mat. So coming in onto all fours. So that means wrists are underneath of your shoulders and knees are underneath of your hips. So we're gonna start by bringing that left hand a little closer to the center of your mat and taking our right arm and starting to reach up towards the sky. So again, my right side's a little limited, so you might be able to get a little higher than I can. But you're kind of twisting to the side here, and then you're going to slowly bring that arm, thread it underneath the left arm, and maybe come down onto your cheek, and just kind of let yourself come down to the position that feels good for you. You can always have a block or something to kind of rest your cheek on. So find that place where you're feeling a stretch in the right shoulder. And if you're here and you're feeling okay, you can start to reach that left arm up towards the sky. And we're going to start to come on up, so you can drop the left hand down to your mat and then bring your right arm up and open. My cat's doing yoga with us here. So up and open, and then drop that right hand back down to your mat and come back into your tabletop position. So we're going to do that same thing on the other side, and it's going to probably feel a little different. So we'll bring the right hand towards the center of your mat, and then bring that left arm up and open, kind of twisting yourself over to the left. And then we'll bring that left arm down, weave it underneath of the right arm, and then come all the way down onto your cheek, onto your shoulder. So a nice stretch for the left side this time. And then as you're here, if you feel comfortable, you can bring that right arm up, reach it up. And then slowly bring that hand down to the mat if you have it lifted. Press through your right fingers, through your right hand, and bring that left arm up and out. And then bring it down to your mat. Beautiful job, everybody. So coming back into your tabletop, we're actually going to lift ourselves into a downward facing dog. So before you reach up, take your fingers nice and wide onto your mat, so they're kind of like starfish, kind of spread out. And then we're going to curl our toes underneath, lift up on our knees, off of our knees, and press up and back to our downward facing dog. So I'm going to come back down and show you kind of the side view here. So if you haven't done downward dog before, just so you kind of know what it looks like, or what my version looks like anyway. So I'm coming back to tabletop, lifting up on my knees and lifting up through my hips. I'm kind of pressing down through the heels. And this can be a pose where you're kind of moving around a little bit, maybe bending knees. Make sure you're still breathing. Head is kind of between your upper arms. And then I'm going to slowly start to walk my feet forward, coming to my hands. And just let your head and your upper body completely relax down. Maybe arms kind of dangle down. Knees can be bent as much as you need to have them bent. And then I'm going to slowly start to roll up my spine. So as you roll up, leave your arms dangling down and just slowly roll up the spine. You'll hear one vertebrae at a time. Let me just adjust the screen here to standing position. All right, so from our standing position, let's lift our arms up and open, nice and tall. And then interlace your fingers and have your pointer fingers kind of sticking straight up. So your pointer fingers are lifting up. And then look up towards your arms. And we're going to take our whole self over to the right. So we're just going to start to lean over to the right. Trying to keep our arms as straight as we can. And we'll come back up through center. And then come on over to the left. Little curve in the spine. And we'll come on back up through center. Let your arms calm down and relax. We're going to do one more standing pose here. So we'll take our left foot forward. Let's see if I can get a better angle here. All right. So our left foot is forward. Our right foot is angled inward just a little bit. So we're going to try to get our hips to come forward, to face forward on our mat. So we're pressing into both feet here. So you can kind of adjust your feet as you need to, but they are like the front toes are facing forward to the top of your mat. Your back toes have a little bit of angle inward here. And then you're going to sink down. Maybe knee is over that front ankle. So this is warrior one. So this is your basic leg position here. And then I'm just going to float my arms up and maybe bend at the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe take a little back bend, opening up through the heart. Really opening up the upper body here. Come back through center. Reach up. And then just spiral yourself to the side. Open into warrior two. So it's kind of the similar leg position. You might need to adjust a little bit. You might need to bring that front foot over just a little bit. And I'm kind of angled to the side this time. And then I'm opening up. Arms are coming straight out from the shoulders, sinking into that front knee. Good. Looking over that front middle finger. Strong warrior pose. And then just reach your arms up, straighten through the front leg. And then sink back down. Exhale. Beautiful job, everybody. Go ahead and lower your arms down. Just turn yourself forward and then step as eloquently as you can, elegantly as you can to the front. If not, don't worry about it. So this time we'll have our right foot forward, left foot back. You can just kind of readjust here. So front foot forward, front toes facing forward. Bend through that right knee, sinking down through the hips. And then when you feel okay through the legs, you can start to reach your arms up. Open. If this felt good before, you can bend through the elbows and just have a little bit of a back bend here if you want. Beautiful. We'll reach back up through the arms and then kind of turn to the side and again sink down into that front knee. Beautiful. Float yourself up, straighten the leg, reach up nice and tall, and then sink back down. Warrior two. One more breath. Let's bring this time our hands down around that front foot if possible. And then turn your back toes forward. And we're just going to step back to downward dog for one breath. Press up and back through the hips. And slowly start to bring your knees down to the mat as gently as you can. And then sink back to child's pose. Take a few deep breaths in your child's pose. Feel the belly rise and fall. And slowly walk your hands back towards your knees. You can sit your hips to one side. And then let's just bring ourselves back into a seated position. You can let your hands relax down onto your knees. Take some nice deep breaths in. Exhale the breath out. Breathe in. Exhale the breath out. Let it go. One more inhale. And exhale, let it go. And let's just end with one more stretch with our arms to our sides, reach up overhead. Maybe look up and notice if this feels any different than the first time we did it at the beginning of practice. Bring your hands to your heart. And open up. And bring it down to the heart center. One more time. Reach the arms up overhead. Palms together. Exhale down to your heart. Gently bow your forehead down to your fingers. Find gratitude for yourself. Gratitude for others. And I'm grateful for all of you for joining the practice today. Namaste. May the light in me honor the light in you. So thank you all so much.